Welcome to Open Court Cases. A 20-year-old walks into court, admits drug use, then tests positive for everything. What the judge does next will shock you.
She was unable to give a specimen, but she admitted to using marijuana and methamphetamine 2 days ago.
All right, thank you. All right, well, let's then address the sentence in the matter of People versus Natalie Nicole Welch. Ms. Welch was, as I stated, I think before she got here, charged with possession of methamphetamine, possession of cocaine, and possession of heroin or fentanyl. Heroin and fentanyl. 4 counts, was reduced to 1 count of use of a controlled substance. The matter was set for sentencing this morning. Daniel Frazine has been tasked with preparing the pre-sentence report. There was some trouble getting her in for the pre-sentence report. We did finally get it done. Mr. Frazine shares many of the same frustration I do in figuring out what to do here. Ms. Hines, what would you like me to know?
Your Honor, before we go forward, maybe I would ask that the court consider canceling her bond and having a drug test before we go forward based on her admissions of use and her admissions of continued use while on bond to Mr. Frazine. I have concerns that she might not be coherent and with us enough to do a sentencing today. I'm certainly willing to have her come back tomorrow or when the court is available, but this is
fair enough.
A pretty significant reduction that was given.
When people come in with alcohol, I had a young man here recently, his blood alcohol level was 0.14, and we were about to do the sentence. We have a standard of how high is too high. And he was almost 1.5 times the legal limit. You can't proceed with a sentencing when the defendant's intoxicated. So we canceled his bond, spent the night in jail, and we proceeded with the sentence. It's harder of a standard to know with these sorts of tests. And we don't have a test. We have her admissions. And so I don't know whether she's coherent today or not. She seems to be. She was 20 minutes late, but I don't think that was her own fault. I think other people brought her here. And so she's still struggling with, frankly, I was more concerned about the fentanyl than I was the others, but I am very concerned about the meth as well. How old are you, Miss Welch?
20.
Yeah, so you're not even old enough to smoke marijuana yet. And so, Ms. Hines, what's your thought?
Natalie did say she probably would test positive, so she was honest with me. I don't know what to say. I think she's here. Her mom brought her here. We have a pretty detailed pre-sentence investigation report, and she did indicate that she has started Celebrate Recovery, so that she needs some help. 20 years old. It's concerning that, like you said, Your Honor, she's used pretty strong illegal substances that really will ruin her life.
Yes,
she doesn't get control of it.
The struggle is between just letting her go over the waterfall. They're trying to intervene. She is 20. And these weren't trace amounts. 1.67 of meth, some 1 point some of or 3.5 of some other stuff. Then the cocaine, the fentanyl. I forgot they were in there. Addicts don't forget they got user amounts of controlled substance in their possession. She doesn't know whether her boyfriend uses drugs or not. So I don't think she was really upfront about everything. So I'll cancel the bond. I can't get in my scheduling profile right now. Laura, do you know what your schedule looks like this week?
Tomorrow I'm in Judge Patterson's courtroom at 9:30. And then I have a sentencing from 11:30 to 5 in Sturgis.
11:30, a sentencing.
A divorce mediation.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
sorry.
It just feels like.
It feels like a
Yeah.
especially this one. So I will be in mediation.
How are you for Wednesday?
I have an adjudicatory trial. Yeah, that's set for all day.
How are you
but,
for Thursday?
I have some people in my office, but I can work around that, Your Honor. We can move people if I need to, so.
Laura, what do I have for Thursday? It wouldn't let me log in first thing this morning in my ongoing litany of technical problems. I still can't get the Kramer box to work for the Javs recording and wouldn't let me log into the AS400. So
I'm assuming you have, does he have PCs tomorrow, PECs tomorrow?
I have PCs tomorrow.
I mean, I could be over here in the morning. Like I saw next.
All right, why don't we set it for 10 o'clock tomorrow?
That's fine.
Does that work for you, Ms. Davis?
I'm doing PCC, so I'll be here. I would like to have a screen still up there.
Well,
Just to verify.
then there's some, we have to transport her to Three Rivers and somebody has to pay for it. We don't have a funding source to pay for her test.
I mean, I think if it's just a matter of giving a urine sample and she's not able to right now, maybe she could within the next hour.
Okay, so even get a urine sample.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm around all afternoon too. I mean, I have,
we'll
some
set it
hearings
for
with
tomorrow
Judge
at 10.
Patterson, but other than that, I'm available this afternoon.
I guess I am interested, Ms. Davis, in knowing whether there's any opioids in there as well. So we're gonna wait until we get a test. All right, tomorrow at 10. Let's see what I got. No, I tried to call Chris because it won't let me in the AS400. Thursday would have worked also. All right, Miss, we'll take it up tomorrow at 10 a.m. here in this courtroom. We're gonna have her wait till she can give a sample. And we'll see really what it is we're dealing with.
Can they give her some water or something to drink?
Yeah. I'm concerned if there are opioids in there as well. We hadn't seen cocaine in a while and it started to make a resurgence. All right, Ms. Welch, you go back at the lockup. At some point, she's gonna need to get lunch, so I'm not sure. We'll work with Autumn and see what we can do.
Maybe call out and have them say referee.
So you want her taken to the jail then, sir?
Hold on to her for now, then we'll see what Autumn wants to do.
Stand up, the chains been okay, please.
Should I leave her phone in or just bring her? That way I'll take the.
Just bond cancellation.
Yes,
All right. See you tomorrow.
is Miss Welch here? Okay. You heard the results.
I
She
only
was
heard
positive
of
for everything. Lori,
Lori.
your client was positive for methamphetamine, fentanyl, cocaine, and perhaps something else. Marijuana.
Does Autumn have a test result or something?
No, one of the issues is just an instant test, but her report back to the court was the defendant was positive for
So it's meth,
methamphetamine,
fentanyl.
marijuana, fentanyl.
Does it show levels or just?
No, it doesn't. That's,
Just what she's.
it's an instant test, so the levels would have been high because it's not a very discriminatory test.
Well, I think from watching her come in. Security has concerns that she is detoxing. I did meet with her. They believe she's in her beginning stages, so she is a little fidgety.
Would you, well, let's see.
Anxious, so.
She's positive for opioids and methamphetamine. If we wish to continue it, her family's here. We're going to return to a sentence that we began yesterday. People versus Natalie Nicole Welch. Good morning, Ms. Welch. You're here with your lawyer, Lori Hines. You pled guilty to a charge of use of a controlled substance. I referred the matter for a pre-sentence investigation, and Daniel Frazine prepared a pre-sentence report. Mr. Frazine's not available this morning because he has a family emergency. He called me first thing, but he stands by his report. Ms. Davis was here yesterday, and your lawyer, Ms. Hines. We asked to do a drug test, and you had represented that you weren't able to provide a specimen. You would be positive for methamphetamine and marijuana. Ms. Davis's position was, I would really like a test. So we waited. Actually, you waited through the lunch hour, and Autumn Kiefer from our probation department did a test, an instant test, and you were positive for everything: methamphetamine, fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, and marijuana. 20 years old. And frankly, it scares me. I understand that you've been in custody overnight. You may be withdrawing for some or all of these substances. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine.
All right, so you want to proceed with the sentence?
Yeah.
All right. Ms. Hines, in light of everything that's transpired since yesterday, anything else you'd like to say?
No, I did meet with Natalie. I told her what her test results were. I asked her questions because I know the jail staff was concerned that she was starting to detox. So we had a discussion about health insurance and possible rehab, and she definitely needs some help. Jail time would only give her forced sobriety and not really work on issues, the underlying issues of why she continues to use. And it's my understanding from talking to another attorney that had her previously, this has been going on for about 5 years.
Yeah, and you're 20. Ms. Davis, you were astute in asking for a final test rather than just her representations. Anything else you wish to say here?
Your Honor, after the hearing yesterday and hearing what substances she was positive for, obviously the concern was that she's on bond for what were felonies, reduced to a misdemeanor. At age 20, she has got an addiction that is so significant that she can come into the courthouse with those substances in her system and still appear relatively, quote unquote, normal, speaking, walking, not passed out. I did inquire from an individual that knows her from school to see what what's the background here. And I don't think that Natalie realizes how many people care about her and are pulling for her and want her to do well, and recognize that she had a very difficult upbringing, very difficult family situation, and perhaps that's not the healthiest place for her to be in order to be sober. With that in mind, I would ask the court to consider doing a period of 90 days jail up front, that if she is able to get into an inpatient rehab facility, that she'd be allowed to do that, but it would be as a term of this so that she wouldn't be able to just voluntarily sign out. And that upon completion of the 90 days or completion of that inpatient, that she would then be on probation. I would request that it be 2 years based on the length of time that she has had these significant issues and the fact that while on bond, she has admittedly continued to use and hasn't been able to kind of seek out the resources that can help her. So with that, I would ask the court take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an absurd situation we're in. The law, more of the Criminal Justice Reform Act, presumes everybody's going to be free on bond. There's a presumption that there's a PR bond and certainly a presumption of bond. We used to do drug testing at the Day Reporting Center. We had funding for it from the Community Corrections Grant. Now we just tell people that are addicted, don't use any drugs. And the point of fact is almost everybody would test positive between the date of the pre-exam and the prelim because they're addicted to very powerfully addictive substances. You scare us, Ms. Welch, because there's so many things involved here and you're so young. People don't die from methamphetamine overdoses. They decay over time, and we've certainly seen it. People die from fentanyl overdoses. You got other stuff in there, including cocaine, and some other, and marijuana, and perhaps other prescription stuff. It's frightening. I talked to Mr. Frazine on the phone this morning, and I think we're all on the same page. You need some sober time. We're going to try to see if we can find an inpatient treatment program for you as a condition of your probation. I can amend your jail sentence to let you into an inpatient program. And that's what Ms. Davis suggests. That's what Mr. Frazine suggests. But you need some forced clean time. So I've agreed with Ms. Davis. You need 24 months of probation. I'll follow her recommendation. I'm going to order 92 days credit 2, leaving 90 days to serve. The fine is $0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, and a $960 probation oversight fee. You don't have very much money, so this isn't so much about money. $12.35. No drugs and no alcohol. Test as directed. Also need other treatment. May be released to an inpatient treatment facility if we can find one. So it could be as soon as the one would be available, I suppose, but it'll be the kind of probation that Ms. Davis reflects that you can't just walk away from it. If we sent you to a treatment program, it'll be a condition of the probation that you participate in it. And if you walk away, it will be a violation of your probation. It'll be back in jail. But right now, you're going to have a rough couple of days. All right, I don't know, she'll be in the jail for some time, potentially as long as 90 days minus good time, which would be 75 days. But I'm envisioning that between then, before then, maybe sooner rather than later, we're going to get you into an inpatient program. I don't know where you're getting these drugs. They weren't trace amounts. You had usable quantities of meth, cocaine, fentanyl, and maybe heroin. Spooky. All right, I don't wish you any ill. I really don't. We've seen you before. I've been here for a long time. And I see what the toll of drugs do to a 20-year-old girl over a 20-year period. And it isn't pretty. You deserve better. So you're going to go to jail. You're going to be there for a while until they can find a place for you to go. Do you have any questions? I understand Autumn kind of was hard on you yesterday back in the lockup. I think she gave you some good advice. You deserve better than where you're headed. So let's see where we can go. So you're free to go.